and the Gynecology Faculty of Medicine, Mansoura University. Today, we want to discuss how to insert IUD. First, we want to know what is the available IUD in the market and the commonly used. This one is copper T380. As you see, it has two transverse arms and vertical arm, and the copper is present in the transverse and the vertical arm. This is called copper T380. Okay? Copper T380, if maintained in place and no complication happen, with regular follow-up, can be inserted for up to 9 years. Okay? Okay. The other copper IUD is called Multiload. As you see, it has vertical arm and the two curved arms serrated, as you see. But here, the copper only in the vertical arm. Okay? While the transverse or curved arms, curved serrated arms, has no copper. Okay? It can be maintained so long as there is no complication after insertion, and with regular follow-up, can be maintained for up to 5 years also. Okay? The third one is called levonorgestrel releasing intrauterine system. Commercially, it is called Mirena. There is other different types of levonorgestrel releasing intrauterine system, but this one commercially called Mirena. Okay? Okay. Has a special method for insertion, as you will see. Okay. What is the difference between copper T380 and the multi-load as regard the insertion? Copper T380, this one, is inserted by technique called withdrawal technique, while the multi-load is inserted by technique called pushing technique. Okay? Okay. Let us see the instruments needs for insertion of IUD. I need casco speculum. This is self-retaining vaginal speculum, little speculum. Okay? With a screw, as you see, I can insert it inside the vagina like this, edgewise till half of the blade, then rotate 90 degrees and complete the insertion, then open the blade to see the portion of the surface. Then after that, I close the screw. This screw, I close it to leave it in place. Okay? So this is the first step, is to insert the casco speculum. Of course, under complete aseptic condition. Then cleaning of the portion of the cervix. This part of the cervix is called the portion. Clean it from any discharge. Of course, if I discover the infection while I'm planning for insertion of IUD, I cancel the insertion till I manage the infection, vaginitis or cervicitis, waiting for 1 or 2 months until everything is fine. Okay? So, if the lady is healthy, no infection, I'm just cleaning the portion with antiseptic like betadine. Okay? Cleaning of the portion, then I hold the anterior lap with tenaculum or single-toothed vulsellum, like that. Okay? Hold the anterior lap, then use the sterile. All instruments should be sterile. Then insert the uterine sound. The first resistance will be the internal os. What about the second resistance? Will be the fundus. Okay? Okay. Measure the length of the uterus. I use ultrasound to measure the length of the uterus, also to know if the uterus is AVF or RVF. Okay? Okay. Then I measured the length. I know now it is 8 centimeters. Okay? In each package, of course, each IUD is present like this one inside the package, or everything is sterile inside the package. Okay? And the table beside you, if you are using towels or something, it should be clean and then I wanna to insert the copper T IUD. I told you that I'm using the withdrawal technique for copper T. First, you should place the two transverse arms inside. Okay? Of course, the package, the closed package, the threads inside the insertion tube. It comes like that inside the package. Okay, threads inside the insertion tube. Let us know the components. This is the copper T. This is the external sheath, is called insertion tube. This root is called plunger or root, inserted inside the insertion tube like that. This blue part is called the flank. So I have insertion tube, plunger, and flank. This flank can move up and down. What is the importance of this flank? Because if I measure the length of the uterine cavity as 8 centimeters, I can put the flank at the level of 8 centimeters. Okay? Also inside the package of any IUD, there is tab with measure 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and so on centimeter. So, according to the length of the uterine cavity, I put the flank like that. 8 centimeter, it's okay. I put it to be 8 centimeters. So this part is 8 centimeters. Okay? What is the next step? Next step, you insert the two transverse arms inside the insertion tube like that. Okay? I insert the two transverse arms inside the sheath. Then move the plunger till it touches the lower end of the vertical arm. Don't push it, because if you push it, the transverse arm will get out. Okay? Just touching the vertical arm, the lower end of the vertical arm. Okay? Okay. So, what is the withdrawal technique? I hold the anterior lap of the cervix after cleaning the cervix with betadine. Then I measure the uterine cavity with sound, as I said. Then I put the flank in the proper position according to the length. Then I'm going to insert the IUD like that in the model. Okay? As I said before, what is the resistance will meet me first? The internal os. The second? Sorry for interruption of the model. Okay, again. First, the model is a small one. Okay. Now, can you see the IUD inside? Can you see it? Inside the uterine cavity. Now, till we meet the second resistance, which is the fundus. Little bit withdrawal of the IUD to leave a space for the transverse arm to come out. So I reach the fundus, then I withdraw a little bit down. Okay? Then what I'm going to do, I'm going to do withdrawal. Withdrawal means what? I'll fix the plunger and withdraw the sheath, the insertion tube. I withdraw. We are recording. We are recording. I insert the, I fix the plunger, then I withdraw the tube. Okay? Okay. Like that. Can you see the transverse arm coming out? Okay. Then little bit push up, then remove the plunger first. Okay? Then remove the insertion tube like that. Then you can see the threads coming out. With scissor, I'll cut the threads to be about 1 to 2 centimeters from the external os. Okay? With scissor. Then I remove the retinaculum or the single tooth capsullum. Okay? Put antiseptic with the sterile gauze. Then this is the complete insertion and withdraw the casco speculum as in the reverse direction as I said. Lose the screw first, then close the blades, then little withdraw, then rotate 90 degrees, then out. Of course, while you are inserting or extracting the speculum, you should separate the labia so not to cause discomfort for the lady. Okay? Okay. So this is how to insert copper T with withdrawal technique. What about multiload? This one is the multiload. Okay. Multiload is different. We are going to use the pushing technique. Okay? Of course, the new package, the threads already inside. Like that. Threads inside and the multiload, the two curved arms is outside. I'm not going to insert the two curved arms inside the tube. Only I cannot. But this technique is not withdrawal, so I don't need these arms to be inside the insertion tube. It's just like that. All other steps like previously. Okay? All other steps like as I said before. Okay? So what is the difference? What I mean, all other steps: insertion of the casco speculum, cleaning of the portion, holding of the anterior labus valsilla, measuring of the uterine length and the position of the uterus with the uterine sound. Then insertion of the ID. This is the difference in multiload. If you remember, I said withdrawal with copper T. Remember? But here we are going to use a different method. By the way, how to withdraw if you wanted to remove the ID after 1 year, 5 years, or whatever, from the threads like that. Just withdraw the threads. Okay. Let us see the multiload. I wanted to put the thread inside, so Of course, when you insert it, the closed package is already prepared. The threads inside, I'm not going to do that what I'm doing now. Okay? Comes like that. Inside the package, it is like that. The threads inside, the insertion tube. Okay, this is the plunger, this is the flank, this is the insertion tube. But the multi-load has no plunger. This one, the plunger or root, is not present in multi-load. Why? Because I'm not going to do withdrawal. I'm going to insert it with another mechanism. Just pushing. I'm not in need for plunger. So inside the package there is no root. In copper T there must be root because I use a withdrawal technique. Okay, let us see how to insert. Simply we hold the anterior lap with the Multiload like that. Then we are going to insert the multi-load inside the cavity. Okay? The first resistance meet you is the internal os. Second resistance will be the fundus. Then little a bit. Then withdraw the IUD like that. Sorry. Withdraw the IUD like that. Then the long threads, you can cut it 1 or 2 centimeters from the external. Then remove, okay? Then remove the Multiload like that. And this is the Multiload. If I wanted to remove it after 5 years or at any time, I just withdraw the threads like that. Okay? So, all steps of insertion IUD is the same as regard the casco speculum, the cleaning of the cervix, the holding the anterior lap, measuring of the uterine length with uterine sound, and detecting the position of the uterus, is it AVF or RVF. Then, for multi-load, I use pushing. For copper T, I use withdrawal technique. Okay? The third type of intrauterine device, really it is called the system because it releases levonorgestrel. Every day, small amount of levonorgestrel is released inside the uterine cavity. So we call it levonorgestrel releasing intrauterine system. This type commercially called the Mirena. It has a different procedure for insertion. Okay. How we insert it? This needs a very special technique. Okay? This is the IUD, this one. Looks like T, figure T. Okay? This is the flank to measure the length. Also, if you measure the length of the uterine cavity, you will put the flank accordingly. 1, 2, 3, 7. If it is 8 centimeters, for example, I put it on 8 centimeters. Okay? The flank. This is the insertion tube. How can I insert it? I wanted to insert the transverse arm inside the tube. But this will be done automatically. Okay? Without handling it with my hand. Like what? If I push this part up like that, it will be inside. Okay? Then I insert like this. I insert like this. If the uterus is AVF, I'll take this direction. If the uterus is RVF, I'll take this direction. Okay? First resistance internal os, second resistance the fundus, little bit down. Then this is an important step. I descend one click down. One click down. I have two clicks. I do one click first. Okay? You can see the transverse arm is out. Then I complete the insertion with another click down. Okay? Then I remove it like that. Okay? Then I'll cut the threads 1 to 2 centimeters from externals. This is what's called bleed. If after 5 years I want to remove it, withdraw from the threads like that. Okay? So this is 3 types of IUD. I hope you can understand now, and you wanna to do this skill by yourself, each one of you, because there is different technique for inserting IUD, as I said, whatever copper T 380 or multiload, or the third one, the levonorgestrel releasing intrauterine system, what's called the Mirena. So we can divide these 3 types into 2 groups: copper IUD and levonorgestrel releasing intrauterine system, and then divide the copper IUD into 2 types: the copper T 380 and multi. Okay, so everybody should know we have 2 groups, and this is all over the world present. In the United States also they have both types: copper IUD and levonorgestrel releasing intrauterine system. Of course, copper IUD may have different shapes and types, but what of common use is the copper T 380 and the multiload. And this is the end of the technique. Thank you. I hope this lecture was beneficial for you, and thank you everybody.